Good morning, everyone, and Chodesh Tov. Today is Rosh Chodesh Nisan, the first day of the month of Nisan. And Nisan is no ordinary month. It's the first month of the Jewish people from the Exodus from Egypt. Today is the day that God told Moses, this month shall be for you the head of all the months of the year. It's also known as the month of redemption, Chodesh Hagula, the month of redemption, the month that the Jewish people were freed from Egypt. The month of Nisan is also referred to as Chodesh HaAviv, the month of springtime. Just like the flowers and the trees begin to blossom and to bloom, this is the month that the Jewish people were born. We became alive as a nation. Our identity was created. And just like in the winter, everything is cold and the trees are barren and everything looks dead, and suddenly they come alive, so too the Jewish people went through a harsh persecution in Egypt. And suddenly in this month we became a nation. And this is the celebration of the month of Aviv. But there's another dimension to Aviv. The word Aviv can be divided into Av, Yud, Beis. Av, of course, means father. This is the month that we look back to our identity as a Jewish people when we became the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. We remember our identity as the children of the great patriarchs and the matriarchs. And then, of course, the letters Yud Beis is 12, which represents the 12 months of the year, but also represent the 12 tribes of Israel that were born from the patriarchs and the matriarchs. But there's yet a third dimension to this month. And the third dimension to this month is the fact that today was the day that the tabernacle was erected. The Mishkan on the second year of the Exodus from Egypt was erected today on Rosh Chodesh Nisan. And for the first 12 days, the 12 heads of the tribes brought gifts to the dedication of the Mishkan. And today on Rosh Chodesh, the first leader to bring gifts was from the tribe of Judah, Yehudah. The Torah says, Nachshon ben Aminadav, Nachshon the son of Aminadav was the one to bring the gifts, the offerings in the temple today, on opening day. And why did he merit to do this? Because when the Jewish people came to the sea, Nachshon was the one who jumped into the sea first and caused the sea to split for the Jewish people to pass through. And therefore he was honored to be the first one to represent his tribe and bring gifts for the tabernacle. We just returned from Israel today with 35 wonderful members of the Palm Beach Synagogue. And what we did and saw was how the Jewish people in Israel are like Nachshons. So many brave soldiers and volunteers who jumped into the line of fire to save and to rescue our fellow Jews on that tragic day of October 7th. And sadly, many of them lost their lives, but their legacy lives on till today and will live on for all of eternity as brave, heroic Jews who saved countless lives, who selflessly paid the ultimate price for being Jewish and gave their very lives, laid it all on the line for the Jewish people. One of the people we met just 2 days ago over lunch in Psagot was a wonderful woman by the name of Devorah Sadan. And Devorah Sadan talked about her son Hallel. And her son Hallel was only 21 years old. And he and his friends were guarding the army base on the border of Gaza. And when the terrorists infiltrated, they all ran into the safe room. But her son Hallel said, I'm going to stand out front to protect the base and fight off the terrorists. And sadly, although he killed many terrorists, he was killed in the line of fire. And she spoke about her son and what a big heart he had and how generous he was and how kind he was and how giving he was. And then she said how after they learned the tragic news of the death of her son, they tragically laid to rest their son, and then they sat Shiva as a family. But after they sat Shiva, she said she and her husband gathered her 4 remaining sons. She has 5 children, 5 sons. And they said to their 4 children, the surviving children, we are going to be a happy family. We are going to be a joyous family. We are not going to be a sad and depressed family. We're not going to live as a grieving family. We're going to live fully and Jewishly. Because if we don't, they said, then why did Hallel die? Why did Hallel give his life? Why did he sacrifice his life if not that we should be able to live? That was the message we heard time and again. That the Jewish people have to live stronger and more proudly and more joyously and celebrate life, because those who died wouldn't have it any other way. They gave their lives so we can live. This is the month of redemption. This is the month of renewal, of springtime. We've come through the hardest tragedy in the modern state of Israel, just like the Jewish people who went out of the Exodus from Egypt. But like the Jewish people, we will live. And we will live not just for ourselves, but to carry on the life, the legacy, the memory, and the love of all those who gave their lives for us. Am Yisrael Chai.